Greetings everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Marvin Ford, and in today's video we're talking kayaks. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions review of the Crescent Kayaks CK1 Venture. Now this is hands down one of the nicest paddling kayaks on the market. Crescent makes awesome kayaks. Now what I mean by that is there are some kayaks that are very stable and easy to stand and fish out of. Then there are other kayaks that are just going to handle moving water, things like that, like it's nothing. And that is where this comes in. So if you're looking for a kayak that's going to be able to handle moving water and paddle like nothing else, stick with us. We'll tell you all about it. This video is intended for all ages. All right, so let's get started. Let's start off with the front of the boat, or the bow as we like to call it. The bow of the boat, very nicely done. Huge front little tank well area up here on the front, little bow, little storage area. You got your little bungee carrier. You got a nice ergonomic grab handle. Their handles are really nice. They are a little hard on your hands after a while, especially if you're carrying this. Like any distance, it can be very heavy. When you're coming down to this, you got yourself a cargo net. This little flap is designed for your paddle to be able to go in. When you're paddling, just to be able to slide it forward. This thing is removable. The whole thing comes out of the way and just does that. The bag itself opens up. Doesn't have a lot of room. I honestly generally keep my scupper hole plugs inside this since I got this kayak. Now I got this kayak, it was already used, it had already been through the ringer, it had been down the river, everything like that, and it had been used. Very nicely done. They do offer a pad kit, which I have not bought yet, but I probably will, just because it'll cut down on the noise that you get up front. Very nice. Usually there's some pads here, like you'll see in the very back. Very customized, very cool looking, very nice, easy to use. Let's move back a little further. Next, as we move back a little, we've got a couple of rod stagers right here and right here. These are our adjustable foot pegs. Now, the one thing I hope it translates in this video, if you look at the front of this kayak, the whole area is swooping back that way, which will allow you to drain all that water when it comes splashing over the bow. If you're dealing with, this is a moving water kayak, really good for this. Water comes splashing over, it's gonna run back here. You're gonna keep these out. These are just gonna allow all that water to just funnel out. Huge scupper holes, huge. I live in Georgia, so I don't have to worry about cold water. So I'm never usually worried about that. I usually just throw my scupper hole plugs inside that cover tank, the tank well cover, and it's very good. Foot pegs, adjustable from the short people like my little wife to me. 6 foot, works really well. Up here, you have your flush mounted gear tracks, making it where when you're going to put this on your roof rack, your kayak rack, whatever it might be, on your van, your truck, your SUV, whatever it might be, this makes it where it's not going to hit and hang up on a whole bunch of stuff. Love that design. Very simplistic and very efficient. Next, we come back here. We have 2 carry handles on the side in case you're mostly I use these more for loading and unloading. Comes in really handy. Before I forget, also notice the drain here, so water's not going to get stuck in here, slosh around, get all your stuff saturated. You got water bottle holders, works great for a Nalgene bottle. Got this is a paddle holder, just stretches over your paddle if it's up here on top. Got a nice little storage area, got a drain trough, very comfortable seat. Crescent also makes a high seat, which I might end up doing because it sits really low, which makes it really hard to get out of the seat when you're paddling. But when you're fishing, I like being able to fish moving water. It just works really well. I mean, it's just an amazing paddling kayak. As you see back here, we have another scupper hole and another scupper hole way back here. Just awesome. Mighty Mount gear tracks. I mean, they've designed this thing really well. All right, now one thing I forgot to mention is back here you have a couple of pad eyes back here. These are for tying down, like for attaching the seat, keeping the seat down. Now this is the low seat, but if you have the high seat, it has these little tie-off points to keep your seat down. because the frame is taller. These are what you use in the normal low seat. Just keeps it from going anywhere if you do flip. Coming back further, we're back here by the tank well. This is the rear. The stern of this boat, the tank well, whatever you want to refer to it. Huge area, big enough. I run a 25 quart Engel. I also use an Orion, and they're both 25 quarts. They fit back here perfect. You still have room for, if you wanted to run a black pack, you could stick a small cooler behind it. Just awesome. Gear tracks, flush again. Mighty mounts, almost flush. We got our little side holders over here if you want to put another bottle next to you. Tank well area, like I said, big. Got these huge bungees. Your gear tracks allow you a lot of different things to install back here. Rod holders, whatever you want. You can install all that back here, and it's just going to make it where your time on the water is that much more efficient. Huge trough. All that water is going to funnel away. Got deck pads. Like I said, you notice the difference? Now, very tinny, even though they're plastic. Further back here, we have our rear grab handles, which will allow you to carry one person in the front. Honestly, I honestly wish it was a cross, because I usually just carry it in the middle, but most of my stuff I don't carry it far. When I do, I'm using the C-Tug cart is what I've been using lately. Back here in the back, we also have a drain plug. Now, the one thing I was informed about this kayak is until I put a hatch in this thing, this is a watertight kayak, meaning here in Georgia, it gets really warm. You got to make sure this drain plug is out, or this kayak will bust at the seams. So never leave this in. And what I mean by that is there is no vent. Like if you put a storage hatch where you had access to, that would eliminate it. I'm going to run a wiring plug just so I can open that up, so I don't have to worry about that ever happening to me. So we're going to flip it over, and we're going to show you what makes this thing paddle so well. All right, now look at the back of this, the bottom of this kayak. That is why this thing does so well. It's got a nice arc, which is what we refer to as a rocker. And it's got a wonderful keel running from the front to the back, which is just going to make it where when you want it to go straight, it's going to go straight. But when you want to lean into it and really turn this kayak, it's going to do very, very well with that. We've got ourselves a couple of reinforcement plugs. Now, see, those look like they're scupper holes, but they're not. These are just for reinforcements. So when you're standing on this deck, it's not going to flex too much. Very nicely done. Up front, the front of this works really, really well at cutting through those waves, going over them, whether you're in white water, just moving rivers, playing in the ocean, whatever you're going to do. Now, it does have like nice little tie downs for the seat, which comes in really, really handy. Very nice. Oh yes, and so the kayak itself is 11 feet long, is 34 inches wide in the widest point, has a 400-pound weight capacity, and weighs 60 pounds. Very nice. For a kayak this size, that's incredible. Next, let's talk about this seat. Now, this is the low seat. They do make a high seat, but very hard to get a hold of. Haven't been able to manage to get one yet. I'm going to reach out to Crescent and try to get my hands on one. All you do is flip up on these little straps, and it lays all the way back. Has some great lumbar support in the lower part, which I like. Honestly, generally when I'm in the boat, I have a throwable, like 12-inch or 16-inch by 16-inch throwable PFD square. Some people use those kayak cushions, but I like the other one because it's actually designed to be used as a life jacket, as a flotation device in an emergency. Comes in handy if someone's in trouble and you need to throw it. That just comes in very, very handy. It has, on a kayak, when you have things in your boat, you need them to all have multiple jobs. So, as you see, this is a great kayak. I love the chair. I love the kayak. I will say, make sure before you hit the water, you're picking up a really nice paddling PFD. What is it? I can't think of it. NRS. So NRS makes a really nice PFD called the Chinook. They make one called the Ninja. These are all very much designed for paddling, not just recreation, not the orange, I'm going down Titanic kind of stuff. I also use my tan one you'll see in a lot of my videos is made by StoleQuest, but you can pick them up at Cabela's or Bass Pro. That has been one of my favorite life jackets I've had in a long time. I think I own 2 currently, and I've owned 3 or 4 altogether because they just wear out and they get messed up or burned, or in my case, I drug one behind my boat, behind my trailer pulling it home. So I like this. This kayak is very flexible for a lot of platforms, whether you're looking at fishing or doing anything like that from this boat. That's going to be up to you, but I think you're going to like it. So make sure you guys check us out. I'll put a link down below to Crescent Kayaks where you can go pick one up yourself. They're made here in Georgia, so you got to love that. But guys, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoy these videos, and if you do, give it the old thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, join our community, and be part of us as we grow. Thank you guys, each and every one of you. We pray for you and your family, and hope you have a great week. Make sure you take time this week to get outside, enjoy yourself, enjoy nature, be prepared, and stay safe. God bless, guys. We'll see you soon.